get started. Oh, there we go. As we get started. There we go. I am not moving. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna ask you, if you haven't already done so, to please sign in. We are recording your attendance here, so also if you are in need of Spanish translation, please let us know. Our interpreters are here for that. And like I said, Carlos and Carmen are here. If you need that translation, they are here. We are recording this session, so be aware we are using the owl. But we are recording our time here, and it will be posted on our Best Start link. I'm going to ask Ms. Kelly to come up, and she's going to read our morning agenda for us.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for showing up this morning, the new people and everyone that's been here all the time with us. Appreciate you coming. Our agenda for today is the welcome and introduction. Children's Bureau is now called All for Kids. Woo! Our desired results, Best Start Community Check-in, the June meeting review, community discussion, the 5 pillars, Best Start Learning Opportunities, community announcements.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. And we are now no longer Children's Bureau. We are called All for Kids. So give me just a second. Is there a sign? So the name change embraces how all of us, partners, families, and communities work together to create a world where every child is safe to grow. Our new name is All for Kids, partners with children, families, and communities. So I know that's gonna get a little getting used to, and we're all still getting used to it, but that is our new name. And we're embracing it. So the desired results for today is we're going to continue building our community, and we want to begin understanding our 5 pillars and how they work to guide the action plan for our community change agenda, our CCA. You're in groups, and we're glad you're sitting in groups because we're going to continue the conversation, the table talk, but we're going to do some things a little differently in pairs. So if you can, sit at tables where you can pair off with one other person. Yeah, so get with the group, and we're going to continue on our conversation in that regard. I'm going to ask Ms. Cotty to come and read our partnership agreements.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Today's meeting agreements are: be punctual, stay present and engaged and on topic, put the focus on the future, be authentic, be yourself, one person speaks at a time, agree to disagree respectfully, finish your sentence, not your paragraph, step up and step back, exercise confidentiality when necessary, be patient and open to technology, keep your video on if possible, assume positive intention. A rainy day will make flowers. Separate person from the role, separate person from the role, and be creative and have fun.
Thank you, Ms. Cotty. Thank you. As we move forward, I do want to make sure I clarify our results. We're really intentional today, along with building our community and understanding one another where we are going. I want to make sure you understand the clear Best Start initiative. What is Best Start? And understand our partnership goals and objectives, along with gaining the clarity and boosting awareness of data and all of that. So we're going to go through all of that. As we get prepared to make our action. We're gonna get in action. We want to make sure we equip you so you know for yourself. What are we talking about when you go out there? And I don't know about how many of you have had a conversation and someone asked you, well, what is Best Start? One, raise your hand. Let me know. Okay, yeah. And have you been able to translate that effectively to sharing what we're doing here and what our objective is? I told my team, I was at the mall and I went specifically to get in that massage chair, you know, those chairs that cost like $2 or $5. Yeah, I said, shoot, this is a good massage for cheap. So I was going to sit in the chair and I had on one of my Best Start shirts. And there was a lady that was already in the chair. We were talking about the massage chair, and I'm like, girl, yeah, this is great. I love it. I said, yeah, get my neck and everything. And then she looked over and she looked at my shirt. She said, well, what is Best Start? And I'm like, oh, here we go. It's on and crack. And so we literally had a conversation for 30 minutes about Best Start. And she began to share with me that she came from the school district and worked with early childhood education. And I'm like, wow. And how she worked with uh, uh, developmentally delayed children or children that had special needs. And she said, I'm coming to your meeting. I'm going on vacation, but I want to be at that meeting. So I was able to give her a card and invite her to our partnership meetings. So I just wanted to share that with you because that's really where we are going to be landing today. But before we do, I'm going to have you break off into your table sections. We're going to take about I would say 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes to talk about our check-in. Where are you? And here are our questions. We need to check in with each other. We're building a community. We're building relationships with one another. We don't know each other, and it's hard to work together with people you really don't know. But before we start anything, let's begin asking some questions. It's good to check in with folks. Where are you today? How are you feeling? So, how are you feeling? And these are the questions. Who can you ask for support in your group or at your table? And what's your goal for our time together? Why are you here? What do you hope to get from this group? And what has been the highlight of your week? Everybody has something that's happened in their life, right? And just kind of share with one another what's been a highlight, something of your week. Stephanie said she went running. That was the highlight. I'm like, oh, I'm jealous. I can walk fast, but I can't run, you know. But how are you feeling? Not how are you doing, but how are you feeling? And be authentic. And who can you ask for support? Who's there to support you, even at your table, in your group, or if not here, who? And what's your goal for our time? So we're going to give you a few minutes to do that. We'll let you know this is going to be about 10 minutes. So just go around the table and talk amongst yourself and share these questions. Each one take turns. How are you feeling today? We can ask for support in your group. And what is your goal for our time together today? And give one highlight from your week. What's been a highlight of your week? Okay, go ahead. Go.
We have all.
So I will be. But.
Yeah, I've been like having like.
Yeah.
I need to drop my.
No, it's not me. I mean, I like
Our last week, we had.
Oh,
And then I did my. I did so.
Number two, like. And she doesn't indicate or they open their baby, so she can make it. Down here, I get children, one of our. Bottom here. She said, if you give her.
No, she turned to July 4th. Oh, she turned to July.
And I wanted to.
Yeah.
Never.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I thought I needed to let go of what I'm letting, you know, what I'm doing, devote my time now to. Never thinking there's situations like that, right? They are thinking in, but somebody, and
Yeah.
I'm getting chills, because I don't know, this is never, like, even when we try to do them here, it's like, yeah, they never, they don't think as an option, right? You know.
Yeah, the one that most of the children are kids.
Like,
And then I'm gonna be the arena. Aerospace, nurses, hospital, things like that, so they have different cohorts. And he does work, go here, here.
yeah.
And then another lady out here. Yeah. Areas, you know. From the. She can really loud. The inside. Make sure. Sorry, I should have not. Let's move on Good morning, Maggie. We're just doing the community check-in on my, it's your turn. And then I'm like. I know you're talking about mine, you know, but it's right now. So you said he.
The right hand. What I call the community center. And it's proceed. I'm coming back.
But it was, yeah. For the five. Yeah. Why did you Okay, and we were there today. He's the one that texted me about providers. And so she's on my phone. But she's like, I can't sleep. You know, especially with you. Yeah. Yes.
Hi, our time is winding down. I'm glad to hear all the interaction. I'm glad to see you all getting to know one another and checking in. How was that for you? A thumbs up if that was a good time to get to know your neighbors at the table. Know who's in the room with you, who's sharing with you. We're going to continue on now with our review. What have we been following through with? What have we been discussing when we come into this space? What has Best Start been attending to? So I'm gonna have Carter come up and she's gonna do a brief review of what we talked about for our June meeting, what has happened. For those of you who are new to this setting, who are new to our regional meetings, this will get you caught up to what we are in process of doing and why. So Carla?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm seeing some new faces that I saw just last night, so thank you so much, and that I saw you at a play group. I'm so happy that you're here today. It shows that our efforts are working. We're really, really trying to reach the community and make sure that they know that these meetings are taking place. We're just gonna do a quick review of June. What did we talk about in June? For those of you who were here in June, you probably remember we had Ms. Tavi A and Ms. Day share with us or lead us in a discussion about what is Best Start. Best Start focuses on children 0 to 5 years old and focusing on strengthening our community so that children 0 to 5 years old can grow up in healthy, strong communities. Do you guys remember that conversation for those of you who were here?
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason we had Ms. Day and Ms. Tavier lead that conversation was because we also did that a month prior, and we learned that there was still a little bit of confusion, right? This is not this isn't necessarily a direct service space. We don't sit with you on a one-on-one to maybe do like child screenings or walk you through like a caseworker type of process. This is more, here's the community. This is what the community voice says. How do we then create a strong community for our children to grow up in with that voice, right? Because we know that different organizations receive different funding to run different programs, however their scope of work dictates, right? However, their funder says, this is the work that we want to see you do. And there's no community voice necessarily involved in that. And so this is kind of the other way around, where the community dictates what we achieve through Best Start. And so we know so far we have our community change agenda, our CCA, which focuses on childcare and early education. So the community had voted back in January, right? To focus on childcare and early education. Well, what does that mean? What are some of the changes that we want to see here in the community as it pertains to childcare? And so we came up with 3 goals that focus on increasing access, enrollment, right? into the childcare programs, making sure that children are being enrolled into the programs. We have providers who say, I have plenty of space. And we have providers who say, I have a wait list. And so the children that are waiting to be enrolled, we have to connect them to the spaces where they have childcare slots available. But we also know that there are pockets in the community where childcare is not accessible, where there is no childcare programs. So how can we open programs in those areas, right? That's the first goal. The second goal focuses on child and family well-being. We can't help the child if we don't help the family, right? A strong community needs to look out for both child and family, not just one or the other. And the third goal focuses on workforce development, ensuring that our childcare providers who are doing the hard work of caring for the kiddos and that we know are not being paid a rate that truly allows them to expand their program in a way that they would like to be able to make a profit. We're trying to ensure that they have resources here in the community so they don't have to go outside of the community to go get these resources. There's a lot of work that goes into this. And so we want to make sure that as we develop our action, what is it? Our action map? What was the word? Our action plan, sorry, plan. I was like, what was the word? As we develop the action plan of like specifically, what are the activities that are going to help us move the pendulum forward? That we understand how best start functions. It's not just about going to our legislator and saying, we want change, because then they're gonna say, well, what kind of change? Well, we want to see change in childcare. Well, what kind of change? Specifically, what is it that we are asking our legislators to do? What are we asking our cities to be more responsive for? Right? If we say we want more funding, well, for what? Where exactly do we want to see that funding be invested? So we're gonna talk about in the next slide. So that was kind of like the June meeting, and that's what we're leading up into today. So I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna take over. Sorry, Darrell, not take over. No. So that was June. We also did the data sculptures. David, did you want to share a little bit about the data sculptures?
Yeah, essentially how on our data filters, we reviewed our data maps and our local data. And how we were able to establish, concrete concepts from maybe like abstract numbers.
Thank you, David. Okay, so that was everything that took place in June. A lot of work has led us here. We're really excited to talk about what are the different parts of the work that we can get involved. And I have seen a lot of the residents already start doing the work, which I love because I mean, I do believe that you guys deserve to be acknowledged. Miss Gloria, she worked so hard in getting parents to the playgroups, right? The playgroups are an extension of the partnership meeting so that we can have more parents with little children, 0 to 5, get involved in the work. And Ms. Gloria has been working tirelessly to spread the word. And I've been working closely with her, so that's how I know she actually presented at the playgroup, right? So we want to be able to see residents take more of that leadership role. Ms. Gotti has been working on getting herself certified in different programs so that she can turn that work around and offer the trainings to the community, right? So that we don't have to be outsourcing from outside of the Antelope Valley. Our residents are more than capable of doing the work. So before I continue to go give on more examples, I'm gonna give it back to Darrell. Because I take over, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. You were on point. She just led me up to where we are for today. So you are in your groups today. We're going to review and go over the 5 key elements to create strong, vibrant community networks that support and prioritize the well-being of children, families, and neighborhoods. And what Carla was sharing and what we're opening the box to, you need to be able to understand this. So we're going to go over our community engagement. What does that look like? What is that? What is our community engagement? And these are our pillars, but within each pillar, there are sub things that you need to know. what they represent and how you fit in those roles. We're gonna go over our community organizing and capacity building. We're not gonna do all of these today. We're gonna concentrate on the first three, and then, next month, we're gonna go over our stakeholder engagement and systems change. Why are we doing this? We wanna make sure that when we begin the planning, because you are doing the planning of the engagement and the actions, you're gonna be saying, this is what we need to do. And you let us know, and then we put it down. But you need to understand what do we need to have in place and have a full understanding of. So as we go through each of these pillars, we're going to give it to you. And I'm going to call it the pair and share. So at your table, you should have the capacity to get with at least one person, not all four. If you're a table of four, I need you to pick a partner, a one-on-one. Because, and designate a, subscriber, not a subscriber, a note taker. Lord, I'm thinking y'all about to sign up for Prime. I'm sorry. You can tell I've been, Prime week, I've been on Amazon. Hey, it's Prime. Okay, never mind. I digress. Anyway, I want you to pair up with one other person. So two of you get together, one take notes. And we're gonna ask these questions. I'm gonna have Stephanie come up. Stephanie, David, and Omar are gonna come and share, and Carla, they're gonna share a portion of each of these pillars. First, I'm gonna have Stephanie come up, and she's gonna talk about finding community purpose for community engagement. So that's the first one. And these are the questions that I want you to write down and discuss. There's no wrong answer. Okay? We're gonna discuss what they are, but we want you to know what they are and where and how and where do you fit in and what role can you play? So what are our top 3 community engagement opportunities? Okay, how do you participate? What's your role in it? And how do you get others to come in and participate? So I'm gonna turn this over to Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. Again, like everyone mentioned, Carla and Dorel mentioned, this is review. So we have went over this. And then when we're talking about community engagement, it is just as it sounds. It's a community that is engaged. So when you think about community engagement, think about a space that you're allowed to come in, voice your opinions, voice your concerns about your community. Think about, I'm gonna give you an answer for the first one. Think about the regional meeting. That's one right here. This is where you place your concerns, you voice your opinions on certain topics, certain systems that are in place, like the housing system, the education system, which is something we chose that you guys voted on. So think about that when you're defining community engagement. So again, like Dorel said, what are the top 3 community engagement opportunities? Again, another one is the regional meetings. And when you're thinking about this, think about Best Start, what Best Start is offering. What are those 3 community engagement opportunities? And then the second one, again, how do you participate and how do you get others to participate? So you guys have 30 minutes to complete these questions. Like Dorel said, it's partnered, correct, Dorel?
2 on 2.
2 on 2. So again, timer starts now.
30, and you have 30 minutes.
Oh, what's your name?
Like when we had the. Because I know that there's. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Yes, it is. So that's why
Right, and you realize it doesn't just. I mean, I have. Going out into. I know several people that. And I will be when we have stuff going on. This is.
And answer questions. And have you been able to share with your partners, and how you participate and how do you get others to participate? We're gonna take about the rest of the time for you to share out as a whole. I'm gonna ask for one volunteer from each table to share out and give your answers to these 3 questions. Okay? You ready? I'm gonna start with the first table. All right, for community engagement, we came up with several different points that we thought were very important. Taking and sharing with other organizations about our regional meetings, participating at community events, that means we need to be present. All of us have participated, because how are we gonna expect other people to come to things when we're not even there? When they show up, they didn't see a familiar face. See here, use promotional materials. I carry my Best Start pen with me everywhere I go, and sometimes I leave it at the places on purpose. I wear my little children's bureau pen all the time. Denise has a cup that she uses all the time that has Best Start on it. So that's just like an icebreaker to start a conversation. Like how Darrell said she had her Best Start t-shirt on it and start a conversation with the lady. Sometimes we meet strangers, the smallest thing that they see, and if it's colorful, which material is colorful, it will start a conversation. And they'll say, hey, tell me what that's all about. You know, that's really interesting. What do you guys do there? Share with other people what we're working on. What is the calendar? We were talking about sharing social media, doing email blasts, doing cold calling, sending around like a phone tree, like you have a phone tree for your neighborhood, letting all the neighbors know what's going on, because a lot of people are visual. So if you text in their phone, send out a flyer of all the activities that Carla usually posts. A lot of times people will say, hey, I want to go to that. And if you give them enough time, try not to send it to them the day before the event so that they can schedule to get a babysitter and be able to participate. People are more willing to come if they're not told about something like the day before. We talked about also using social media for branding, for being able to have more clarity as to in the community what we actually do, to be able to explain to them, these are the services that are offered here. And they also give referrals for resources, to be able to say, well, if they don't do it here, we have an umbrella of people that we can be able to send you to be able to get the information that you need. Tell others about the training and the services that is offered here to the providers, like the young provider here. We were telling her at our table about all the different things, that services that are offered here. We need to be the voice to be able to say, this is our community. These are the services that we need. We have a business that we are affiliated with as community leaders, and these are the services that they provide. That is a clear message. Everything that needed to be answered in that one sentence that I just gave, people should be able to hear that and be able to say, I need to know what this place is all about. How can I get involved? And how can I tell my neighbors and everybody in the community? Networking as a community and working with local businesses. When we're out at anywhere, just leave a card.
leave a pen, leave a flyer. All the people that you know that own small businesses, start talking to them about that, because I'm sure if they don't have children, they have employees and they have customers that come in that have children. That networking also. They might say, hey, can I come sit in here for a couple of hours and pass out some flyers to let them know about all the community activities that we have here in Lancaster and Palmdale. I think with us all working together and actually utilizing our voice with community engagement, that will get the buzz going. Because people like to follow when they hear something new. If everybody's talking about it, they're gonna say, well, let me see, I don't want to miss out. Even if they don't know what it's about, they're gonna want to see, they want to see the videos, they want to see the flyers, they want to know what's going on because everybody's talking about it. I think that's the height with social media and we need to push it as much as possible. Thank you. All right, thank you. Thank you. That's fine. Okay. I'm taking my certificate. Who wants to go? Come on, Miss Gloria. Come on, Miss Gloria.
I don't think they were even aware that I was gonna come and talk. I'm like, hey, I got something.
Do it.
Hi, good morning, everyone. How we discussed within finding, to answer these questions, our top three was, attending, the workshops that are provided, the certification trainings that they have. Also, how do we participate? I myself offer, rights to anyone who I come across that if they're around my area, I have no problem. Just having them help get engaged, having the same language sometimes, and having a little bit of myself, reflection to share with them that they're in the same role, that I am with. And they all share that the same thing too, that networking among us, that's how we participate, to reach out to one another and let them know, hey, there's this going on. Don't forget, I hope to see you there soon. Once again, I think she was mentioning about propaganda. I carry flyers in my car, guys. I really do carry flyers. And how do we get others to participate? One brought up, I think it was Carla brought up, she liked the fact that they have, the program does not require some legal status. What was her name? Nancy shared the fact that we could bring our kids and that getting others to let them know that this is a very open space for them as well, and they feel comfortable. And we all share that we all go through the same thing sometimes, and we all kind of piggyback with each other to feel that we're not alone on this struggle of motherhood or parenting. So that's how we discuss in our table about getting the community involved. Thank you.
And Miss Angelica. Next table. You good? Okay.
Wait,
Oh, you're okay.
some of the things that we discussed as best as we could in this group, was growing the play groups. Like the play groups are a space where we can really capture families with their little ones and have their voice be heard. So growing the play groups, coordinating more family events. And where was I really liked it. It's elevating the importance of having partner agreements, right? Being a part of Best Start shouldn't be just like a one-time thing only, though, maybe it doesn't work for everyone, but that's okay. But I think that one thing that we have seen is the level of commitment from very specific residents. And we want to grow that, right? We want everyone to feel a part of Best Start. And so like Ms. Kelly said, when they're out in the community, they're sharing these resources. Like Ms. Gloria said, they're carrying flyers. So one thing that I would ask is, what do you need from us? Like maybe do you need flyers? Would you feel comfortable with passing them around? Like what more can we do to ensure that you're feeling like, hey, I really am a part of this, right? I want to be sharing this information as well. Because I think that when we feel that partnership agreement, we can move together. So I think that was what was shared.
Thank you. Last table, who wants to share out? Who wants to video? Come on, Miss Annie.
Okay, I see.
Okay, I'm gonna bring the microphone.
Okay, basically what I want to say is because everybody basically said everything. But it's like we have to really get out into the community, as she was saying, in the places where family and children are at. And I know some people don't like knocking on doors, some people don't like handing out flyers, but people don't know who their start is. A lot of folks don't know. And so if the many complexes we have, like apartment units and stuff, it's good to try to get into those places and let the people know that we're here and what the service are, how we can help, because people don't know. And that outreach is so important. So I think everybody said a little bit of this, a little bit of that, that was really good, some of the things that we had written down. But yeah, just getting out there and letting know that Best Start is here, who they cater to, even if you have children 0 to 5, if you happen to have a 7-year-old, 9-year-old, they also be a part, because that's the family unit itself. But yeah, so I think just getting out there, inviting people, letting them know all the different things that they start doing, all the nonprofit agency, telling them about things, so that way they know the resources are here. So people don't feel like there's no help, like she said too. Going to take the blood.
Going to places like Chuck E. Cheese, Chuck E. Cheese, or I don't know how to say it, like, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, where we know there are kids and parents, yes.
Awesome, okay. Come on, Tess. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I just want to add, everybody said everything about Fast Start, but I just want to add that we have committees in our in Fast Start. We have the welcome committee, the policy, the data, and the sustainability. So I just want to add that.
Awesome, Tess. Thank you so much. You all, this is what we want to focus on. This is what you brought some great answers. And this is the whole point. Understanding what is our community engagement. We have our regional meetings. This is our regional meeting. We have our committees. Thank you, Tess, that are a part of our Best Start. You can join one of those committees where you feel you fit in. What is your role? You know what? I'm really great at talking to people, and I like being a part of Tess and Miss Kelly and Miss Denise. They're really great. They greet you. They're the ones getting your name and stuff. That is when you come in, you sign in. They're great at that. They love. They're part of that committee. That David is over the data committee because data tells a story. What we need to focus on. If you love doing that kind of thing, you need to get with David to be a part of that committee and understanding. I like data. I like gathering numbers because I know those numbers are going to tell me a story and what we really need here in the Antelope Valley and what our families are needing. We tell that story. Then we also have our play groups. Our play groups. Young lady here just said it. What about a Chuck E. Cheese? Were you aware that Best Start has a play group at Imagine City? That place is awesome. We go where the families are, your family. So when we're already doing with the community engagement piece, getting out there where the families are. I love Chuck E. I didn't even think about Chuck E. Cheese. I think I have an aversion to that rat, but that's a whole nother story. There was some trauma behind that, but I'm not gonna go in there. But that's still where kids go. Pardon. Yes.
We have, are you guys familiar with Maylin? She comes to the meetings as well. She's part of our team. She, part of the ABPH team. She does the outreach. So today she's at one of the events with DCFS. They requested Best Start specifically to participate in this event because they're really happy with the trainings that we have been providing, with the events that we have been hosting. And they said, hey, Carla, we really want our families to learn more about Best Start. Can we have the outreach team out here? So Maylin is there. One thing that we are moving towards is having her coordinate with residents to see if you guys would be able to join her in outreaching. Sometimes Omar goes, I've tried to outreach, yeah. Sometimes I've tried to like also join in there. It's a lot of work for one person. So, exactly, Gloria's like, I can go. That's exactly where we're driving this Best Start card towards, right? How can we now coordinate as a partnership to start to get out there? All right, you're right. I'm gonna transition this over to Clark. I'm sorry. But you guys are definitely bringing up, some great ideas. I am, sorry, forgive.
So passionate that you won't take my thing too. Hi there, everyone. Okay, so community organizing, I kind of go into it a little bit for those that don't quite know what it means. So it's bringing people together, right? And that's basically what we're doing, to build power, to rally them, and, you know, they have a common goal in sight. For us, it's 0 to 5. You know, we have our domain, we have our CCA. But it goes a little bit further than that, so it kind of builds upon the engagement. So yes, we see the engagement through, let's say, like the regional meetings, but it goes a little bit into what some of you are already doing. So like Gloria, speaking to other mothers, Gotti speaking to parents within the district. So that's really what it is, building a network, having lived experiences and being able to share those. Let's see, and how do you participate? What do you get or do? So again, it's really being able to build that network and see the growth, being able to build the power through other people.
Yeah. So for the next, let's say 20 minutes, I want you to answer these questions with your two partners, one-on-one. And then you can share out at your table, but get your partner again. And the question is, what is the goal of the community organized? What's our ultimate goal? And then how do you participate? And how do you get others to participate? Same questions, but I want you to think of it as community organizing. Community organizing. So I'm going to give you 20 minutes. You can talk amongst yourself, get that written down, and then be prepared for our share out. Go. Community or in your groups. If you can hear me, clap 1. If you can hear me, clap 2 times. So in your group, thank you. Were you able, after you figured out our community organizing, what we're already doing, and the goal of community organizing, and how can you participate in this event? And how do you get others to participate? Who wants to share out? I just need one person to share out from each group, from each table. You want to go? Come on, Carla. Start. Don't go to the next one.
Okay, one of the things that we made sure is that in our table, everyone is receiving the newsletter. And so we found that one of our participants here was not on the newsletter. And so he just signed up. And that way he can now forward and share that newsletters with others so that they can also subscribe and stay up to date. Show of hands, how many are subscribed to the newsletter? Okay, so if you're not subscribed, let's get you subscribed today, okay? See you later after.
All right. That's the newsletter. How do you get others to participate? So who wants to go next? Who wants to share out next? Let me get my table here with Denise. And come on. And Patty. And then.
So the goal, of community organizing is basically reaching as many families as we can through email or in person, through the school app, passing out flyers, word of mouth, invitations, and honestly, social media. I was sharing with my table, I just met someone that owns her business and it deals with expecting moms. And I wouldn't have met her if I didn't talk to her, and I gave her one of my flyers and she gave me her flyer. So that's like the next on my list. I'm gonna try to invite her here. And then she can invite her clients because it's all expecting moms.
That's great, that's great. All right, someone from this table want to share out what you all discussed about community organizing? What is the goal of it? How do you participate? I'll bring it over here to you. Hold on, I'm coming. I have to take off my sandals, 'cause, oh yeah, I'm getting comfortable.
We were talking about, inviting people to the Imaginarium, because a lot of people have kids, they don't want to go to daycare every day, so that's a way for the family to participate for free, low cost. You know, we always try to find low cost programs, that's wraparound. But, you know, so that's one thing, and then I was just suggesting that the school district, because some of the younger kids will have issues because the older kids are having problems. But I think definitely inviting people to the programs at the mall, because everybody knows where the mall is up here, so that's one way to, you know, build capacity, because we're inviting people to a public space that's easily accessible and everybody can get there.
May I ask attractive for people like the balloons?
Oh, okay.
May I ask attractive balloons and.
Yeah, it's attractive to families, the little ones, the families, and then begin to share with them and organize and, okay, got it. All right, next table. Come on, Ms. Chloe.
So one thing that we also share how to participate, as you pointed out, having ourselves also participate, in sharing our experiences. Participation in either the committees or the play groups, having them, other parents hear you out as well. And I guess, Carla mentioned, there was Carla here who was like, having been getting notification, and she realized that she needed to clear out her inbox so she could get her notification. So that reminding people too, if you guys are not getting the newsletter, go through your emails and make sure people have that access. So that's another way to making sure that we're all engaged.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you. How many have participated in community resource fairs? Or gone to community resource fairs? Or when the community has events at different parks or locations? So when we are a part of that as a Best Start community, we can go with Omar or with Maylene and begin that process of organizing and outreaching and telling people about it and bringing them together. When you're organizing something, remember a time when I'll give you an example, we all are familiar with organizing, community organizing. When we had the events during COVID, and we saw people coming together protesting Black Lives Matter. Remember those on TV? They didn't just start with everybody showed up at a protest march. You know what they did before, right? They met in communities, at centers and churches and people's homes, and they talked about what they saw were the injustices, and they decided, let's pull together something that will say, this is what we're standing for. And so as Best Start, we pull together You can talk to how many know your neighbors? Yeah, that's so weird. I grew up knowing my neighbors, and the neighbors was the one that narked me to my mom and grandmother when I was out doing something I shouldn't have been doing. And so they organized to keep me in line, and, and yeah, and they squealed on me, you know what I'm saying? But our neighbors knew one another, and they told, okay, time. All right, that's a long story, but long story short, when you know your neighbors, you can organize, like, hey, let's come together. I want to share something. Let's break bread and let's eat and talk about what we're organizing to do here in Best Start around families that we're interested in helping our 0 to 5. Okay, last one. Here we go. Capacity building. Capacity building. That's Carla. Come on, Carla. And I want you to begin thinking, because remember, we're gonna do our pairs and shares. So get your note takers, those who are gonna share out and take your notes, but I'm gonna turn this over quickly to Carla.
Quickly. I'll just add that when it comes to capacity building, there have been many opportunities for you to get involved in learning a little bit more about child development, in learning about what it takes to become a leader. Maybe offering a workshop, things like baby science. Right now, we have the trauma-informed, nonviolent, parenting sessions going on. We did the growing brain a couple of times already. And we continue to offer different trainings. All of these trainings revolve around children 0 to 5 years old. So I've had a couple of conversations with a few here and there, where sometimes we doubt if we know enough to be a leader, right? Like, if I get up in front of the meeting space, will people see me as a leader? And that self-doubt can be really, really scary, and it can keep us from opportunities, right? From saying, hey, my voice is just as important. So one of the goals with the capacity building is that we are creating leaders in the community. Sorry, scratch the word creating. We are helping you discover your leadership potential, right? There is a leader in every single one of you. Every single one of you is super, super great at something that I am not good at, right? Would you guys agree? I'm really good at getting up in front of the classroom and talking. But things like data scare me, I was like, David, you take this one, right? My grandma used to tell me that even to be in the kitchen, you need to study. I was like, what do you mean? I don't get it. I hate cooking. It wasn't about cooking. It was that everything that we do in life is a learning experience. And so your lived experience makes you an expert in that same journey that others have to travel, right? My parents immigrated to the United States. And it always baffles me, like, how different it is to grow up as a child of immigrant parents versus a child who is second, third generation American. It's different. And I never realized how different it is. And then you start talking to other people who have had that similar experience, and you're like, oh, shoot, you're right. It is different. And so when people are saying, this is the right way to become wealthy, or this is the right way to bring about change, a lot of the times the factor that gets left out is the real lived experience of those who are struggling, right? All right, 23 minutes. So capacity building is all about, you are the experts. You have the capacity to lead. And so we want to make sure that you recognize that. So when we say we have this training, that training, this being offered, it's an opportunity for you to go, oh, snaps, not only can I learn from this, I can now share this out with others. So I want you to think about, what is the purpose of capacity building for you? From your experience, from your perspective? What do our capacity building opportunities have in common from the Best Start lens, focusing 0 to 5? Focusing on the work that we do with families and children. Have you participated in any of our trainings? Why or why not? And how do you get others to participate?
You have, we're gonna give you 10 minutes for this one. Go with your partners. Answer those questions. What's the purpose for capacity building? Quickly. What do our capacity building opportunities have in common? How many have participated in some of our capacity building sessions? If you have, raise your hand if you have. If you have not, then ask yourself, why not? So you write down the ones that you participated in, and then how do you get others to participate in those capacity building series that we have taught, that we have brought here? You got 10 minutes, write them down. I'm gonna ask one person to figure out, okay, have you participated in a capacity building and why? And if not, why not? But which one did you participate in?
Our answer here at the table was, we just believe that, Best Start as an organization should make a clear message of what they would like for us to present to the community. Kind of like give us like a bullet points or like a talking, like cheat sheet. So that when we go out, we're basically giving the same message, no matter what language, if it's the deaf community, if it's another, there's hundreds of different languages. We all need to be speaking the same thing. So we thought of as a way to do that is have a class that would give us the opportunity for some who don't do well with public speaking or with being able to get out clear information, that they would give us the mini class. That we could stand up and we would have activities to show us how to present in public, how to give out a clear message and exactly what bullet points that we want us to be able to present to the community. And that would give us a little more leadership skills, give us a more motivated to be able to speak in public, because a lot of people are afraid to speak in public.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right. I hope we wrote that down because something just came to my mind for public speaking. I just got it. Of this type. So for our capacity building, how many have participated in baby signs? Raise your hand. How many have participated in the trauma-informed AV? Raise your hand. How many have participated in the growing brain? Raise your hand. Those are some of the capacity building. How many have participated in the trauma-informed parenting? Raise your hand. Okay. Those are our capacity building opportunities that we have thus far offered. We're going to offer some more. In fact, Omar's going to be doing some for our Tech Fridays. No, he's not going to do it.
We didn't have enough signups.
We didn't have enough sign-ups. So if you're interested in technology, talk to Omar just to learn, or Carla, because if we don't have signups, we don't offer it. But if you're interested in that, let us know. All right. For trauma. Okay. Let's start learning opportunities. Get involved. Here are some of our best start learning opportunities. Our partnership play groups that happen at Imagine City. Our best start committees. Participate in our trauma-informed nonviolent child raising classes. Child care provider summer learning. Trauma-informed AV, train the trainer, and basic technology workshops.
Sorry, guys, I just want to highlight, when you hear Best Start learning opportunities, this is the capacity building. Okay, so I just want to highlight that so you guys could put 2 and 2 together. When you see learning opportunities in each regional meeting, know that that is the capacity building pillar that we're talking about.
Can I add 2 things to that? Okay, here's a couple of things that I want to make sure as we're talking about capacity building that you do keep in mind, because I think Ms. Kelly, you brought some really good points. If you notice on that funnel, there's 3 examples. One of them really focuses on the child development aspects, growing our knowledge, our understanding around how a child properly develops. Sorry, the stages of development, right? The stages of development, because that's really what needs to lead the Best Start work. Okay, not kind of like guessing, I think this will work, hopefully this works for the kiddos. We need to get knowledgeable about what child development is, so that we can plan for that. What are the best activities for a 2-year-old versus what are the best activities for a 5-year-old? That is one piece of that capacity building. The other piece is like Ms. Kelly was mentioning, the leadership aspects. As a leader in the Best Start work, this is where the Best Start Academy comes in. What is understanding Best Start? This isn't something that our executive leadership within All for Kids or ABPH is driving the work. The work is decided by you. So at some point, we need to see all of you up here. And like Ms. Kelly said, but that takes work too, right? Some of us are a bit more shy, some of us it takes a little bit more. And when you get out in the community, what does that look like for you to be able to share that? So that Best Start Academy is going to be that, the foundations of how Best Start works, how you as a leader act within Best Start, how you drive the work. And then the third part is the fellowships. We'll cover that in next month. Thank you.
So come back next month because we're gonna finish our funnel and we're gonna continue our talking about our learning opportunities and what Carla just shared with you. Because we want to make sure you have a clear understanding. We are moving. You're the wheel, you're the car. And so we've got to move, but we want to make sure we ain't moving in different directions. We want to make sure we're moving, we know where we're going. So these are our flyers for our Best Start AV partnership. Don't worry, you will get these flyers in your emails. Okay, and these are our highlights. I just wanted to share, we did have our first partnership play group at Imagine City. So these are just some of the highlights. Woo, woo, woo. And it was an awesome turnout. And look at the little ones having so much fun.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, because of that. So it worked. Community engagement work. Come on, somebody. That's how we get them here. That's how you do it. And I know Miss Gloria was talking, and so that's how we engage the community and pull them in. This is what Best Start is doing. Okay. Welcome, welcome. Join a committee. Get involved. The regional meeting is one place. Committees is another place. Do you guys, we're at 12 o'clock. Can you give me 5 minutes? I know we're at the end. I just need 5 more minutes and we're coming to the conclusion, but I'm running behind 5 minutes. These are the committees, the policy, the welcome, and the data committee. Get involved. Stephanie is over the welcome committee. David is over the data committee. And we have our policy committee with Ms. Carla. We have our upcoming, this is our trauma-informed, nonviolent child raising. That is another capacity building opportunity, okay?
Very powerful, guys, very, very powerful.
Very powerful. You were there, right?
Yes.
And
Okay.
as a reminder, you can find all these flyers on our link tree, you can find them on our Instagram, I believe they should be on Facebook too.
Okay. Here's another one. Capacity building. The capacity building. Childcare provider summer learning. Capacity building for Best Start, 0 to 5. Families, focusing on families, 0 to 5, capacity building. Childcare provider summer training. This is what we want to put information and training into our community members. Okay, this is how we're going to grow our partnership. Share this with your friends on Facebook. Share this with your friends, your neighbors, family members. This is what we're doing. how are we going to begin to effectively move our community change agenda? We're gonna build up our partnership through these capacity building opportunities. Then we have our trauma informed training program, our TIAV, and the train the trainer. This will be in September. Because we know our community has been through some trauma, so we gotta know as community members, how do we address it? How do we help the members of our family? Oh, follow us. Let's start, AB. Let's start. That's, you can, our QR code. Okay. That's it. We're gonna bypass a lot of other little things, but that's the crust of it. You can get our QR code.
That's for the survey.
That's for the survey. Take the survey. Let us know. We take the survey every month because we need to know where we are with you. You have to be we need to hear your voice. Please take the survey. We need to know which direction. Do you understand what we're saying? Are we capturing what the community needs? Okay?
I'm gonna go around taking pictures of you guys.
Is that okay if we take your pictures?
It's not working.
No, it's not.
The link's not working?
No.
I'm gonna take put a filter.
Right, another.
She said it's like a filter and it's cutting it off.
Okay, they're gonna fix it. They're gonna try to fix
We're gonna try and fix it.
it. In the meantime, I'm gonna take the picture. No, it's okay.
Okay, in the meantime, we have lunch provided.